What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And it's been a while since I've recorded a video, ever since I've been training to get into the Air Force. But in today's video, we have tons of updates, man. I got updates on after taking my PICAT test, and then after the PICAT, I had to do the ASVAB test. So it's been a lot of stuff. Everything from starting the PICAT to scheduling my, MEPS. So everything is going according to plan when it comes to joining the Air Force. And this is honestly one of the toughest but best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. Now, I'm excited to work out and talk to y'all and yap and all this good stuff. And it's fucking cold outside right now. So, no bullshit, man. Let's go inside. Let's get to work. And then I'll go ahead and get all of the stories going. Because, man, I got a lot to catch y'all up on. Right now, there's just been a lot going on. As soon as I get inside, I'll go ahead and let y'all know everything that's been updated. And then from there, yeah, let's get the fucking work in. I'll see you on the inside. Peace.
Alright, y'all, so I'm moving straight into the first set. And before we get any fucking yapping going, bro, let's get some work done, bro. I'm feeling the vibes, the fucking energy is up there. So let's go ahead and get this shit going, y'all. So, you know, and y'all already know, I don't really have to explain this at this point. It's going to be an arm day. So let's go ahead and get it started with the curls and then move it straight into the skull crushers. Let's get it going, y'all. Let me just replay this song. That song, Smooth Operator, be smacking. Alright, moving straight into that first set. Let's get it going, y'all. The one thing I'm gonna miss though, throughout all of these changes, the one thing I'm gonna miss is this beard, brother. I'm gonna have to go with straight mustache. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be kind of mid, but fuck it. You gotta make changes in order to get where you're trying to go. Alright, y'all. We're gonna get into the yapping session once all this energy burns through me. Like right now, I'm feeling it solid. So let's keep it going. Oh, sure. All right, y'all, let's get into the 35s. And honestly, something that's been giving me a lot of strength lately is just making sure that every single day, without fail, even the days I'm not hitting the gym, I'm being consistent in the diet. Like yesterday's diet was immaculate. I hit like 140 grams of protein. Well, I should have done more, but 140 grams of protein, only 1,300 calories, which is probably not the healthiest thing. I'm supposed to eat like 1,800, 1,900 calories, but hey, still going good. So being consistent with the diet and also consistent with the creatine, making sure I'm intaking at least 5 grams of creatine per day. And the creatine is like a night and day difference. You get like an extra 3 to 4 reps, you know what I mean? So instead of gassing out, you can do another 3 reps where you would normally gas out without creatine. Whew. But for any of y'all that are actually joining the military, and regardless of what branch it is, you know how daunting it is to study night after night after night for the fucking ASVAB. Like me, I honestly spent maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks studying the ASVAB, and it was like I just bought the guide, the ASVAB for Dummies on Amazon, right? And I was just practicing that day in, day out. The practice, the math, and the engineering side of it, the tool side of it, and it was very extreme, bro. Like wasn't. The things weren't all that complicated, but the sheer volume of everything you had to learn, that was fucking insane. And then the day I took the PICAT was actually one of the easier tests I've ever taken. And on the PICAT, which is like a ASVAB, you take not an ASVAB location at the recruiter office, I got an 88 on that. So I felt like on top of the world. I felt like that shit was like damn, all the hard work paid off. And then 2 weeks after, I had to actually go take a verification test, and that's where everything fucking changed, bro. I thought shit was sweet until I went to go take that verification test, and I got fucking fried. And I'll tell y'all the rest of that story as soon as I finish this next set. But just know, if any of y'all join the military, just when you think shit's about to get sweet, shit gets even harder and harder and harder. So, all right. Moving straight into the next set, we're going to do 30. 35s is our main curling sets and skull crushing sets. And then 30 is our drop set. So as we build intensity, we're going to go up the weight. Today I feel solid as fuck. So we're probably going to go up all the way up to 45s. And if I'm still feeling it, we might move to the other section over there. So we can do 50s. But it's kind of depending on how we feel. Like right now, energy is pretty good. But moving towards the end of the set, that's where the strength starts to taper off. So we'll see where we end up falling, bro. But let's keep it going. Solid. But yeah, so since I did get an 88 on the PICAT, I think I'm in a pretty solid place to give advice on how to study for that. And honestly, the number one rule I can tell you is practice answering questions. Like I would take a section of knowledge that I learned in the ASVAB for W's, and I would go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I just went over this section. Can you give me questions based on this section? Because I would master the ones in the book, but the book is like a limited scope, so it wouldn't be overly complicated. And then I would ask ChatGPT to create me like more challenging questions based on the information I just learned. And honestly speaking, that was a game changer because some of those questions fucking puzzled my mind. I was like, bro, what the fuck are you even trying to say? And then I could go back when I got stumped and ask ChatGPT, hey, I need you to solve this, but break down step by step on how you did it. Because it's easy to get the answers, but on the ASVAB, you cannot fucking cheat. So you need to make sure you're coming in prepared. Well, this wasn't the ASVAB, this is the PICAT, but still, same difference. Skull crusher, let's go. Shut up. And then honestly, I have been making some changes to my workouts. Like I didn't do it today because I'm actually pretty fried on this. But instead of doing strength training straight up, I do 1.5 miles so I can prepare myself for the physical aspect of joining the Air Force. Like right now, I think you have to run under an 18-minute 1.5 miles. And right now I'm doing solid. I'm at like 11:18. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not capping, y'all. I can't find it right now, but I think it's 1:18 or 1:30 1.5 miles run. I'm gonna go through it later on and find it. But honestly speaking, this is fucking solid. It's been taking a lot out of me to run that fast, but it's been a good practice. And I mean, this isn't the one, but on days that I'm feeling good, I'll do like 12 minutes for 1.5 miles, which isn't bad, but I'm trying to make it sub 10 if I can. But for that, I'm running at an 8 the whole time, but I need to be able to run at a 10 or 11 the whole fucking time in order to really surpass my limits and do as good as I can. Because for those of y'all that are joining the military, one of the most important aspects of your physical is how many push-ups you can do, pull-ups you can do, sit-ups you can do, and also the mile. I've seen people that have been in the military for a long time get delayed on their promotions merely because their mile time is not the best. And in order not to be held back by certain things that are physical and things that you can control, you want to practice. Like right now, I'm not even in yet. I'm still in the process of signing up for MEPS, which is in like 10 days. But I'm still practicing my ass off because I will be damned if I be left behind for any fucking reason. I'm making it statistically impossible for me to fail. And if you're joining the military, there are things you could do to put yourself ahead of everybody else. Because most people are average, don't work out, and take things very simply. And if you go in with the right mentality, you'll be able to go in and accomplish every dream you've ever had. Let's go ahead and do our drop set on our curls, and let's keep it pushing, yeah? Yo. Shit. Solid roll. Woo. All right, moving straight up to 40s. Intensity high, energy high. The vibes are immaculate. So let's just keep it floating. Did I crush my phone? Boy, I thought I just crushed my phone. Let's go ahead and move up to 50s, y'all. Oh, shit. All right, so let me take this jacket off. The pump cover's coming off. All right. All right. But yeah. Ooh. But yeah, like after taking the bike cat, I felt very good. And I did amazing. You know, I didn't think I did as good as I did. I got an 88 on it, and that was fantastic, bro. I would have never imagined I'd get an 88 on the test like that, right? Especially since that test, it covers so much information that I was surprised that I actually did so well. I wasn't expecting to do that good on that test, so I was actually proud of myself. But then I had the verification test scheduled because they want to make sure you didn't cheat whenever you went there, right? And because of that, I had to go down to Warner Robins, and I took the verification test. I showed up early, and they like waited like an hour or 2 hours in order to get in there and actually take the test. So it was a long process of just waiting and being anxious about it beforehand, right? It even took so long. Me and like 3 other guys dead ass took a nap beforehand. So that's how you know it was taking a fat minute to get set up. But once I was in there and I was taking the test, I did very good on the verification test. But the recruiter let me, the proctor of the exam let me know that 20% of everybody, no matter what, takes the exam again. So instead of just taking the verification test, they go ahead and schedule you to take the full ASVAB. So I did like about 45 minutes to an hour on a verification test. Did well, or at least I think I did, because they don't tell you if you did or didn't. But I think I did well. And then I had to go in and take the 3-hour-long ASVAB fucking again. And I was like, fuck. Like, damn. It's just crazy. So I was in there for 4 hours testing on the verification, and then 3 hours testing on the actual ASVAB. And I'm telling you, the questions, some of them, I did not know what the fuck was going on. I'm just sitting there like, huh? Like, I'm lost as hell, man. I don't even know what the fuck is going on at this point. I even got discouraged in that certain, like in the bottom of my soul. It felt like the test took me in my spirit and dragged me to the bottom of a fucking ocean. And on some real shit, I was feeling despair at the most maximum levels possible. And I was like, there's no way I was actually mad. There's no way the other test was that easy. And this test is this fucking difficult. What the fuck is happening? I'm not understanding. I'm like mad confused, and I'm pissed off at this point. So after taking that test and feeling so discouraged, you have to then take like a personality test to see if you're a psychopath. And some of the questions made no sense. It's like, would you rather kill your mom or kill your father? Like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? It wasn't actually those kind of questions, but I can't actually give you examples because that's illegal. So I just made up a bogus one, you know? But still, I was like, there's no way. Both of these make you sound like a psychopath. You know what I mean? So then I took another hour taking that test, and it was just a lot of testing. I did like 4 or 5 hours worth of testing, and at the end of it, I was mentally fried. mentally fatigued because they like play mental psychology with you. They don't tell you what score you got. You have to reach back out to your recruiter and they let you know what score you got. So after 5 hours of testing, I didn't even know how I did. I was like, did I do good? Did I do bad? At this point, I don't know, but I'm fucking pissed off, you know? And after everything, that mental torture, and keep in mind, I went from, damn, I'm that motherfucker, because I got an 88 on the PICAT. I felt like I was the shit. Then to go have to take a verification test where I was like, this is pretty easy. Then to take the full ASVAB where I was like, fuck, bro, what the fuck is this? And then a personality test right after where I was like, nah, shit, you got me fucked up. Like, I was one of the last people to leave, and I was so pissed. I was like, there's no way everybody else had to do this bullshit, bro. And I was disappointed and mad at myself for not testing or trying harder. And like every bad possibility was going through my head through flashes, all the inadequacies, all the pain and all the work that I put in just for nothing, right? But then I reached out to my recruiter, and I'll pull up the messages if I can. I was like, I am so discouraged. I cannot believe, like, can you let me know what I got? Because at this point, I know I did terrible. Like, I was proud of the 88 I got before, and then after I was like, I don't even think I got a 50. You know, that it was that bad. And then from there, she took like 30 minutes to respond, and after she responded, she was like, okay, I got you, no worries. I understand the test could be difficult or whatnot, but let me look up your score and give me about 5 minutes and I'll reach back out. And then she sent me a photo of my score, and I'm telling you, when I got the photo and the notification, I pulled over on the side of the road. I was like, fuck me. All right, let me click on it. I close my eyes, I open it, and bam, I got an 88 again. That's like my fucking magic number, bro. An 88. After all that mental torture, suffering, and everything, I still got a fucking 88. And that shit made me so proud of myself, so accomplished. And I was just like, wow, all of this, wow. Like, I'm actually happy. Like, I cannot explain to you. It was like going on a roller coaster, like, fuck, you know? And then after that, I just felt amazing. Like, I went home smiling, singing songs, and it was just like the best day I've had for a long time, because that just showed that all the work that I put in was reflected in my score. I did very well to the point where I can get just about any job in the Air Force, and it's just reinforced the fact that this is the right decision, because they say that God gives you tests along your path, but he will never put anything in front of you that you cannot handle. And in that moment, I was like, wow, this feels so reinforcing, because I was sure I was going to make this decision. No. I wasn't sure I wanted to make this choice, but I was sure of the fact that after I made the decision, I would not retract my statement, right? So I was going to go through with it regardless of what happened. But after having that happen and get that score and just to get that validation, I was like, wow, this was absolutely the right decision. And there was nothing, and I mean nothing, that could have changed my mind after that. Now I'm 100% going no matter what. Even though I felt like that before, now I'm revitalized in that fucking feeling to never give up, to push past my own fucking limits in every aspect. Every aspect. It doesn't matter what comes across. We have to press on, because at the end of the day, nothing else is waiting for us and nobody's coming to save us. So we need to push past our limits and push as hard as we fucking can. So now that I have my what is it called? My MEP schedule, I'm so excited. I don't even know when I'm going to ship out, but I just want to go so I can tell y'all how many stories, the stories of how I got to this point and how I'm going to keep going, how I'm going to go from an E1 as high as I can go to joining the officer ranks. I'm making it my goal to push past my limits in every regard, no matter what comes across my path. And I'm going to bring you guys along with me every step of the way. And this has just been a long time coming for me, and I'm really proud of myself. So enough yapping. Let's get into this fucking work. I'm just so excited, because whenever I tell this story, I just get so revitalized and so inspired by my own fucking self, man. And that's fucking amazing, because if I feel like this about myself, I can pour this into other people and help tons of people. It won't just be me. I'm going to help myself become better, and through helping myself, I'm going to help as many people as I fucking can. Fuck yeah. Let's go ahead and move past our limits and keep fucking pushing, brother. All right, moving straight into the 40s on the curls. And after this, we might move to 45s, or we might call it there and go to some tricep work. So let's keep pushing. Yeah, that was pretty easy. All right, but I'm not feeling it. This microphone being right here. Let's go ahead and move it. Let's pinch on the clothing. It's cheap shit, anyways. Oh, sure. But yeah, man, that's the story of how I've gotten from no time to here right now. And unfortunately speaking, it looks like my camera only has 4 minutes of fucking film left. I just ranted so much I fucking killed the camera. But at the end of the day, that's a story worth telling. So I'm gonna finish up here and do the rest of my arm workouts. And then after that, I'm gonna see you on the pose now. There's been progress and there's been some setbacks. But at the end of the day, we have our mind are moving forward regardless of what happens. So let's keep pushing together. I'll see you in a second. Peace. Actually, we'll be fine. If it dies, it dies. I got another battery in there, another SD card. Because actually the SD card, they got filled. And I'm surprised that it got filled. Fuck it. Let's go ahead and do our skull crushers, y'all. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Woo. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and do our drop set. We're gonna do our forearm curls and then call it from there. This has been fucking phenomenal work. No other way to fucking say this, bro. Been having such a fucking good time today. Let's keep it pushing, y'all. Shit. Alright, y'all. Forearm curls. And then let's go ahead and switch out the SD cards because I think my SD card is full. I need to learn more about this editing shit because I swear it's not full, but it says it is, so, you know. Whoosh. I have been yapping for a minute though. I ain't even gonna hold you. Oh. Yeesh. Ah. Alright. Fuck. Ooh. Ooh. Are we gonna call it there? I just saw a red flash on shit. So that means fried up. Alright, y'all. I'll see you in a second. Alright, y'all. So I was able to pop out the SD card and put up a new one in. So we're moving good when it comes to the fucking the sets here. And bro, just it's very fucking important to do shit that challenges you every single time you can, because throughout this whole challenging process, it's revitalized like every step that I've taken in life has led me to this point, you know? And because it's funny, when I was a kid, I've only ever wanted to be two things: a soldier or a fucking doctor. It's never been anything else but those two items. And from doing one, I can become the other. But I actually, from getting a high score on the ASVAB, I've gotten a lot of lists of potential jobs that I can take, the MOSs. But honestly speaking, when you see that list, you think it's an easy decision. But for me, it's very difficult. Like, I can either go for something in cybersecurity, because people in cybersecurity, after they go in from working for the government to going into corporate America, it's so much money to be made, between 150 all the way up to about like $1 million, you know? So there's almost no limit when it comes to cybersecurity work. But then the same thing goes to being a doctor, you know? So it's like, at this point, I don't know what I want to do, because I'm actually very good with technology. I've been working with technology for the last couple of years. So it's like a coin toss for me. I don't know what to do. And the hardest part for me It's the decision that I have to make. It's coming up too soon. Like, it's not going to be an easy decision to make, but I have to make it soon, you know? But it's better to have this issue than to have a limit on what I can be. So, and then something else. I've been working out for so long that I've built a physique up, you know? And it's made me proud because throughout the process of working hard year after year after year for seemingly no reason, now it's going to be put to something, put to a good purpose, you know? And what's funny is my recruiter, she keeps hounding me, saying, special warfare, special warfare. And I'm like, you know what? That shit does sound interesting. Like she said, one job is I parachute behind enemy lines. I jump out of the airplane, I parachute in. And then after parachuting in, I take over an airstrip or an airfield, something that becomes an airfield. We go ahead and get rid of all enemy combatants. And then from there, we set up an airstrip for the United States Air Force, which sounds like fucking heroic ass shit. And I'm like, wow, that just sounds very interesting. The only difficult part about anything in special warfare, transferability into the private sector is almost non-existent. So it's like, it sounds fun and it could be something good, but for me and my family, it's not something viable because it's something that I would see more combat, which in and of itself isn't the worst possible thing, but it's not transferable into the actual private sector. So that's what's the issue, you know? Oosh. But just being part of something bigger like this is very inspiring, very, I don't know, it's just inspiring to be part of something like this. Instead of working for oneself, you work for the betterment of a lot of people. And I feel like that makes the money more worth it because let's face it, they don't get paid all that well. I might even need a second job, but still, in spite of all that, I'm inspired to go. I'm inspired to push it. Ooh. Especially because later on in life, I won't be able to do this kind of job. I won't be able to work like with the Air Force, you know? After like, well, granted, I have a lot of time, like 42, but still, you know? I might like it so much that I become a fucking general. You never know. Don't put limits on yourself that, you know? And then I thought about one name that I would fuck with heavily. You know how they give each other names and shit? Fucking call me Wolverine. Looking at the only problem is I do gotta cut my beard. But interesting, they said I could probably make an exception due to religion, but I'm not gonna game it. I'm gonna join it all the way. The beard can go. And I'm actually, I don't know. The more and more I think about it, I'm just excited. I can't, like right now I'm counting down the days. And it might be another 3 to 6 months after my MEPS before I even deploy, depending on the availability of the MOS I decide to go with. But still, man, it's just like, still, this is so fucking inspiring. Hey. Oh, no. A side story. I mean, just about none of y'all know me, but I'm actually very good at playing the trombone. And I'm so good that I was actually inspired to join the Air Force and join the band, right? Because I'm actually fairly decent on my instrument. I got a full ride scholarship for it going into college. So I'm very good at it. Not the best, of course, because there's fucking some musicians out there are fucking phenomenal. I know a few of them, but I'm actually fairly decent at the trombone. Played first trombone in college, and I played almost first trombone my entire high school career. But still, you know? And so I wanted to do that, but the same thing with the special warfare, not transferable into the real world. I'm not going to sit here and play my trombone for everybody's amusement. If anything, it's going to be like the gym. Well, the gym can become a business, but it's going to be a side hobby, something I have to entertain myself, not something I use to put food on the table for my family, you know? Oosh. And then something for each and every one of y'all watching at home, bro. If you have any questions about the whole recruitment process or how it felt to go through, go ahead and drop those comments. I'll make a separate video answering any Q&A y'all have. Any single question y'all have, I'll go ahead and make a YouTube video just answering that. Because the trading aspect already got down, but having the fortitude in your head to study, like I can tell y'all, studying is hard because you have to go through the process of like, you be in a zone, right? I'd get in the zone for studying for like 1 to 2 hours, and then you are so mentally fatigued, you are more tired than you are when you hit the gym. It is crazy. It's just like working out. You know, my neurons in my head would be fried, and I'd be like a fucking anime character, just steam coming out my ears, just And then the night before, shit, man, I was having issues. I could not sleep. But at the end of the day, everything went well. It was not for nothing, you know? And then a good question to answer that nobody asked, but I can still answer, is going to be, why did I choose the Air Force out of every branch? And for me, the reason I chose the Air Force is because I've already been part of JROTC when I was in high school. And I could tell you, I fucking loved it. The coming in the uniform, even though, I'm not going to hold you, everybody clowned people for wearing that, even me. People would clown me like, oh, look at him, you know. Because you do look funny, you're an odd one out because you're the only, sometimes you'd be the only person in the class with the shit on, you know. Shiny ass boots, your hair a certain kind of way. I had a beard going in 9th grade, so I had to cut it. So, you know, it was like, but it was the people I met in there, the recruiters. I went to a military ball. It was all just so fucking fun. Like, even running, bro. I don't know what it is about training with other people. It's just phenomenal, you know. That's why even though I have a gym at home, like in my apartment complex, they have their own gym where I can work out everything and not have to leave my home. I still like coming to Planet Fitness and working out in front of people because the action of just working out with others around you, nothing beats it, man. Nothing compares to it. And all of those factors made it to where I just felt more and more and more compelled to join them, the Air Force, out of every branch. No branch spoke to me. The Marines sound amazing, but if I'm being honest with you, they see a lot of combat. And then I've actually did a lot of research on YouTube, TikTok, and whatnot, figuring out what branch is the most ideal for people with families and things like that. And the least ideal was Marines, in this order, from worst to best. Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force, Space Force. The only reason I didn't join Space Force, if I'm being honest, I forgot that they existed until I went to the Air Force Recruiting Center. And then I remembered, oh, they exist. At that point, I was so deep into the Air Force recruitment process. I was like, you know what? We'll just do it. Something respectable, you know? But you know, actually, something I can attest to, for me, I live out towards Forest Park, Georgia, right? So about 15, 20 minutes away from Atlanta. I'm not bullshitting you. Joining the Air Force right now in 2025, right now it's December 30th, 2025, right? Right now it's one of the hardest times to be part of the Air Force. What's going on, buddy? Nice to meet you, man. It's one of the hardest times to be part of the Air Force, you know? Because they have met their quotas. They don't have any more reason to hire on new personnel. So they're treating it as such. I called a few people, and I'm not gonna lie, part of it was my fault. Earlier in the year, I reached out to this one recruiter, and I had let her know I had shown interest, but then I like chickened out at the end of it. And I swear, they took it personally. That office, every person in that office refused my calls. I would come in, nobody would see me. So they were treating it as, we only take the absolute best. I went to the recruiting office in Forest Park. Well, it's off Mount Zion, but I went to that one. Then I went to one in McDonough, and the guy told me, hey, listen, I like you, kid. You sound good and all, but we're booked out for 6 months. We're not going to have anything available for you for 6 months. I was like, fuck, man. I even thought about joining the Marines at that point. But I was like, all right, let me try one more place. So I went all the way down south to Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia. You know, Georgia, you know how far Macon is from fucking McDonough. About an hour, 50 minutes to an hour away, right? And the lady picked up, caught her at the best time. She just came back from maternity leave, and she was looking at onboarding people ASAP. And she told me I'm one of the fastest people that go from interested to signing in she's ever had. So I'm just happy. Everything played out exactly how I needed it. But for those of you interested in joining, keep that in mind. Right now, the Air Force is only accepting the best of the best. It's not like in 2020 when they had shortages. Right now, they met their goal back in like June. So they don't need people. They're only accepting the best of the best. And I'm glad that I was able to show through sheer hard work and like determination that I was part of that crowd. I'm not just like fodder, you know what I mean? It took a lot of work, a lot of effort. And once I made my mind up, I'm glad everything worked out. But for those of you that are having a hard time getting in, you might want to be patient with it. Maybe even wait until 2026, just because of how hard it is to get inside right now. Not just how hard it is to get inside, how hard it is to even get a recruiter to fucking talk to you, bro. Like I would call, nobody would answer. I went down to Macon and the lady took care of me. So if you are in Georgia and you want to go somewhere, the one in Macon, the Macon Mall, she took very good care of me. Very good. I have nothing but 10 out of 10s to say for her, you know? Whew. All right, let's get this going. Gosh. All right, one more set, y'all. And what else? What's another question I'd probably have if I was looking at joining? Now, benefits are very enticing. Full healthcare, full dental, full every kind of healthcare insurance is perfect. And not only that, but the opportunity that I feel like I'm gonna do good. I'm gonna do my best to not do bad, right? That's all you could do. Do the best to not be an idiot at the end of the day. But I'm gonna try to get stationed overseas. And these are on my top picks, bro. I want to go to either Italy. Ever since I've watched Assassin's Creed, True Brotherhood, and all that shit, Italy has been my number one go-to place that I've ever wanted to visit. So in order, it's Italy. I want to visit either Japan, Korea, or Germany. And those four, any one of those four would be fucking phenomenal. And who knows, man? If you do good, I hear you get your pick of the litter. So I'm going to do the absolute fucking best I can in every aspect. Ooh. 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 All right, one more set, y'all. I'm gonna head out. Oh, I can't wait to get home. I'm eating steaks tonight, buddy. And since I am married, getting in with VAH is going to be a game changer because they're going to pay for all my housing needs and everything like that. And from there, they're going to help me buy a house with the VA loan. So the military, for sure, is an amazing way to go ahead and build wealth. But enough yapping. I'm fried. I feel amazing, but I'm fried, y'all. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to finish out these next two sets, and then I'll see you on the pose down. I'm feeling very well, bro. That's all I can say. I'll see you in a second. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get the pose down started. And today was phenomenal, bro. I feel very good with all my workouts. So, yeah, let's get the pose down started. Oh, yeah. I've seen the pose where they go like, Yeah. All right. Where's that? I don't really know how to pose. I forgot how to pose. Yeah. That's the end of today's video, bro. At the end of the day, that's all I got. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And if y'all do, make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. And go ahead and hit the notification bell so you can see every single video I have coming out. But that's all I got, y'all. Peace.